The Catholic Church does not have a detailed set of teachings regarding precisely what will happen in our future, nor about exactly how and when the end times prophesied in Scripture will take place. It largely leaves the interpretation of biblical texts to individual scholars. However, the Church does have a set of teachings in broad strokes regarding what will happen in the future. First, the Church rejects the theory that there will be a period before the end of the world in which Christ reigns physically on earth, perhaps from Jerusalem, as taught in millenarianism or premillennialism, CCC 676. Instead, the Church teaches that in the present age, Christ already reigns from heaven and through the Church on earth. This present reign is partial in that not all of Christ's enemies have been defeated. There is still evil in the world, and as St. Paul tells us, Jesus must reign until he has put all his enemies under his feet. The last enemy to be destroyed is death. Therefore, Christ's kingdom will be fulfilled in a more definitive way in the future. According to the Lord, the present time is the time of the Spirit and of witness, but also a time still marked by distress and the trial of evil, which does not spare the Church and ushers in the struggles of the last days. It is a time of waiting and watching. How long this time will last is not known, since the ascension Christ's coming in glory has been imminent, even though it is not for you to know times or seasons which the Father has fixed by his own authority. This eschatological coming could be accomplished at any moment, even if both it and the final trial that will precede it are delayed. This imminence does not mean that there will be no signs of the second coming. On the contrary, there will be. One of these signs is a large-scale conversion of the Jewish people. The glorious Messiah's coming is suspended at every moment of history until his recognition by all Israel. For a hardening has come upon part of Israel in their unbelief toward Jesus. Another event that will occur is a great calamity, which the Catechism refers to as the Church's ultimate trial, explaining, before Christ's second coming, the Church must pass through a final trial that will shake the faith of many believers. The persecution that accompanies her pilgrimage on earth will unveil the mystery of iniquity in the form of a religious deception, offering men an apparent solution to their problems at the price of apostasy from the truth. The supreme religious deception is that of the Antichrist, a pseudo-messianism by which man glorifies himself in place of God and of his Messiah come in the flesh. This trial will take a heavy toll on the Church, which will follow her Lord in his death and resurrection. The kingdom will be fulfilled then, not by a historic triumph of the Church through a progressive ascendancy, but only by God's victory over the final unleashing of evil, which will cause his bride to come down from heaven. When Christ's final enemy, death, is destroyed, the resurrection of the dead will occur, with every human who has ever lived brought back to life and convoked to the final judgment. At this point, men will receive their final recompense, either heaven, if they have opened themselves to God's love, or hell, if they have definitively closed themselves off from his offer of mercy and love. After the universal judgment, the righteous will reign forever with Christ, glorified in body and soul. The universe itself will be renewed. Sacred Scripture calls this mysterious renewal, which will transform humanity and the world, new heavens and a new earth. In this new universe, the heavenly Jerusalem, God will have his dwelling among men. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain any more, for the former things have passed away. Although much about the future remains uncertain, we may be confident that the whole course of history is in God's hands, and that he will one day bring it to a grand and glorious conclusion. He will end the tyranny of death and suffering, and fulfill our deepest longings in ways that far exceed anything we can presently imagine.